right, so this is the second step of our wine kit, and what we have is the primary fermentation is already done, so we let it sit for a week, and sometimes you can let it sit for about 10 days, but you know, it's been a hot summer, and especially with the higher temperatures, you know, our fermentation was going pretty hard. You can actually see this. Your airlock will basically, we say they call it chugging, where pretty much it's bubbling a lot during that time. So our primary fermentation is done, and we're going to move it to secondary fermentation. Now, what happens is all you're doing is you're racking it to a glass carboy. Now, this is a 6-gallon glass carboy is what you need to, again, because this makes 6 gallons. You can't do a 5-gallon one, otherwise it obviously would overflow. These are, you can get them online. You can get them at, you know, local homebrew shops or you know, wine shops. Also Craigslist, you can get them for about 20 bucks. I think that's what I got mine for. And what you need also is a racking cane. Looks like this. Again, any sort of wine or beer, racking is pretty much just like transferring it. That's the word they use. So what's going to happen is we're going to rack it from the carboy. I'm sorry, we're going to rack it from the bucket into the carboy, and it's going to sit for, again, about another 10 days. And then after that, you'll see what we're going to do is we're going to add some other substances that's going to stop the fermentation, and also it's going to start to clarify it. Now, I sanitized my carboy, and you can see it has a lot of foam in it. One thing with Star San is that you get this extra foam, and what they really say is that, you know, a joke online is don't fear the foam, because it actually is a yeast nutrient, so it actually helps out with fermentation as well. Okay, so I'm going to rack it in here, and then put my my airlock on, and then in about 10 days you'll see what the next step is. So when you're transferring it with your racking cane, what you want to do is you don't want to bring the racking cane all the way to the bottom, because this juice, you know, there's sediment. There's basically you know, grape sludge that's going to be on the bottom. So you want to leave yourself about an inch that you're not going to put it all the way down. So you're going to leave about an inch, you know, buffer that you want to put in. So you want to get just basically juice and not the sediment and the solids that are going to come through.
Okay.
It smells really good. This is early. Next week when we rack it over again, we can pull a little sample and taste it. It'll be young, but it still is. When I tried it, I was like, this is pretty damn good already. They're like on the bottom now.
Okay. That's it?
That's it. But I'm gonna put the...
Yeah, I want to see you do that.
So I'm gonna put my airlock on, and what I do is I actually filled it up halfway with also my Star San, so my sanitizer. That way, if anything falls into the wine, it's just basically sanitizer that goes in, and it's good for the wine as well because it's a yeast nutrient. And that's it. It'll sit for about another week to 10 days, and then we will start to clarify.